Hello, my name is Erin. I'm a bilingual family advocate here at KCSARC. I'm here today with 3 members of our Empowered Voices program, or in Spanish, Voces en Alto. Through Empowered Voices and Voces en Alto, we offer support to former KCSARC clients who are interested in sharing their unique experiences and using their voice as a vehicle for change in the beliefs, attitudes, and policies around sexual violence. I'm honored to join Ana, Lisa, and Jorge today as they talk about their experiences and what it has meant to each of them to use their voice as an advocate for change. Can you tell us a little about what led you to reaching out to KCSARC?
Permítame compartir brevemente con ustedes cómo fue que llegué a KCSARC. Mi esposa sufrió un asalto sexual en su trabajo y eso nos llevó a la corte, donde no tuvo éxito, pero ahí nos recomendaron este programa. Llegamos ahí, mi esposa empezó a tomar la terapia, pero fue muy difícil para ella y para mí, porque en ese entonces solamente ella lo compartió conmigo. Y al ver que ella no obtenía resultados y se desesperaba, yo le compartí mi historia. Cuando yo tenía 7 años, yo fui abusado por un amigo de mi papá. En ese entonces yo no me di cuenta de lo que pasó o por qué había pasado. Simplemente me encerré en una burbuja donde no quería yo compartir con nadie. No quería que nadie supiera, por vergüenza, por miedo. Y eso le ayudó mucho a mi esposa, porque entonces ella se abrió y juntos caminamos este largo camino, largo sendero para poder llegar hasta donde estamos, para poder ir a través de todo el proceso y la sanación que tuvimos. Fueron años de trabajar con las terapeutas, pero al final del camino lo pudimos hacer, estamos mejor, estamos mucho mejor y seguimos superándonos.
I was groomed and sexually abused by a teacher at my high school when I was 16 and 17 years old. And for years, in college and in my young adult life, I tried to pretend like it didn't happen and it wasn't affecting me, and was going through all sorts of emotions of shame and feeling like it was my fault. And I just told myself that, this man had caused me enough harm and pain, and that it wasn't worth keeping at the top of my mind or telling people or reliving any of that pain. And it was just easier to shut it all down and pretend like it never happened. And then one day, about 8 years later, my great friend from, when I was in like the 3rd grade, called me up on the phone one day and told me that her soccer coach had abused her, and it was the first time I opened up because I met someone who had gone through something similar. And I told her, she's the first person I ever told, and she was the person who referred me to a detective and to KCSARC. And she is such a wonderful friend because she didn't let me ignore the problem any longer. She was a pushy friend in the best way and knew how to push me towards getting help and the resources that I needed.
When I was 8 years old, I was sexually abused by my father all the way till I was 18. And I actually have a daughter from my father. She's 8 years old, and she's amazing and wonderful. And I, throughout all the bad that happened to me and my family, she was the answer to saving us, because during court, she was the hard evidence of proving everything my father did. And to this day, we're still healing. It's still hard to talk about, but I'm very grateful that there are people who believe me. Sorry. Oh, that's what led me to KCSARC.
what were some of the tools that maybe you learned while you were at KCSARC that you even remember today or that you still kind of use or put into practice today?
Yo creo que en mi caso más que herramientas, la forma que me enseñaron a afrontar esto, el primer paso fue aceptarlo, aceptar lo que pasó y aceptar que no fue mi culpa, que no fue nuestra culpa. Y una vez que aceptamos eso, empezamos a trabajar en la sanación y empezamos después a trabajar en el perdón. El perdón es muy importante para realmente empezar una sanación. Cuando perdonamos, estamos perdonando a esa persona, pero realmente el perdón es para nosotros. Nos liberamos de todo lo que sentimos. Y es realmente cuando empezamos esa sanación.
I think similar to what Jorge said is understanding that it's not your fault. You aren't the one who did anything wrong. And also the patience, the listening and the understanding that KCSARC offered has been huge. I think the first few times I ever shared my story was with police detectives, and it's just a very different listener on the other end. And it was just a huge difference to come to KCSARC, and it really felt like that was the place where I was going to be on this path to being okay and healing.
It was just important to be loud and to just literally ask for help.
Is there anything else that you would want people to know about the criminal justice process or about what justice looks like to you in general?
The court process is very scary, but they have somebody to help you. I have my legal advocate, and she was there for me every single time I went to the courthouse. Any meetings that I had, she was there, and when I felt uncomfortable, she was there to help just make me feel comfortable and, take breaks. And, I didn't feel pressured to say anything that I didn't want to say. My prosecutor, too, she helped me. She fought for me, in legal terms. And, I didn't understand how it's like in court, but she fought the whole thing for me. And I just appreciate them because they made it so easy for me to just come in and testify what happened to me, and being able to tell my truth in front of my father is something I never thought that I would do, because it was just abuse with him in a room alone. And now that I'm in the state of law and in front of the judge and my family in the pews, I felt so, it was scary, but I felt so happy to let it out about how I've been feeling, and that the pain would stop and that the trauma was no more, and now I can actually heal.
Are there messages about your experiences with sexual assault and healing that you specifically want to kind of be put out there?
Que traten de buscar ayuda, que hay un lugar que los puede ayudar y que una vez que empiecen esa terapia sentirán que no pasa nada, que no tienen ningún resultado. Ese es un proceso normal en lo que aceptamos qué es lo que pasó y que no fue nuestra culpa. Una vez que aceptamos eso, entonces trabajamos en el perdón, y cuando estamos perdonando a las personas o a la persona que hizo eso, podemos empezar a sanar y se puede sanar. Con la ayuda de las terapeutas lo hemos hecho. Que hay un lugar importante que nos hace sentir importantes, que valemos y que podemos seguir adelante y salir adelante.
I think I would want to tell people that it's not a linear process. Healing will come in waves. Some days are going to feel better than others.
I guess what I would want to share is who I am today is not who I was years ago when all of that stuff was happening to me. I've never thought that I'd be here right now speaking about it. I did a speech about it, and I just couldn't believe how many people were there. And I didn't know that, sexual abuse is not just happening to me, it's happening to so many people who, either been through it or, unfortunately still going through it. And I just want them to know that they don't have to suffer anymore, because there are people that do want to help. And, even us here, like telling our stories, it's like you said, Lisa, there's hard days, but we want to help people. And we'd rather be here speaking our stories if, that means saving somebody. So I just want to say that I would gladly speak for those who are suffering silently.
Thank you all so much for taking the time to share your stories and to be loud. The impact is huge.